at Cornwall College with the Most Outstanding Faculty Teacher Award, the highest award to be gained in the Mary Hofat Gladys Myers Incentive Scheme for teachers at Cornwall College. The awards are based on performances over the academic year 2013-2014 in the areas of the CXC, CSEC results, involvement in the boys' co-curricular activities, and general adherence to good practices and professional conduct. The conceptualizer, motivator, and provider of funds for the scheme, $5 million Jamaican dollars in the first 5 years, is Winston Hofat, one of our Men of Might honorees tonight. Who we will hear more about later tonight. He has asked that we dedicate the award to the 3 ladies in his life who have made it possible for him to give back to his alma mater. He wrote, "I'm honored to receive this award, not so much for myself, but on behalf of my wife, Elaine, and our mothers, Mary Hofat and Gladys Myers. For without them, my success would have been impossible. I accept this award also on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of women in Jamaica, deceased and living, who respectively have been and are the backbone of their family's progress. Below is a tribute to the life of Mary Hofat, which generally, with some changes of details, would apply to many women in Jamaica. Celebration of a life. Mary Hofat, December 17, 1904 to December 19, 1996. We shall remember you when we think of our childhood days in the country, playing at marbles, cricket, or tops, picking mangoes, guavas or guineps, or shooting birds in the copse. Because, our mother, you made it possible. We shall remember you when we hear the cocks crow and watch the sun rise, because you were always up at the crack of dawn to prepare us children tea, and to begin your long day behind the shop counter. And year after year, never stopping until at night when the village had gone to rest. We shall remember you when we think of extra lessons and expensive high school days away from home, of books and poems and learning, all possible only through your sacrifices made unselfishly, day after dreary day, and never giving up. Through your selfless efforts and vision, we were educated, our horizons expanded, and opportunities brought within reach. We shall remember you when we admire the human spirit and see human progress, because you were a magnificent example of such progress. How else could one describe the life of a tiny woman who journeyed halfway around the world to a foreign land, not knowing the language, unable to read or write, but who almost single-handedly reared and supported 5 children, 4 of whom had the opportunity to attend university, and 2 of whom won major scholarships to attend universities. We shall remember you when we see verdant trees and stout men and women plowing and planting in their fields, because in your later years, returning to your roots, you worked tirelessly at your garden, never wasting a scrap of land, and indeed, it could be said that you brought fruit to barren places. We shall remember you when we see grandchildren at our feet, and remember how patiently you watched our children play, fed them, took them for walks, and touch them with your love. We shall always regret that you did not have a chance to spend more time with them or we with you, to know you better and to enrich our lives. Oh, how freshly we remember your courage and the love recently when we wept as you struggled to breathe. Your lungs clogged with pneumonia, and though you could hardly move your limbs, you lifted your hand to touch our faces to comfort us. We shall remember you all our days, for we shall strive to be the best of you. And then we hope that in our last days we will be able to celebrate the things we have done in our lives that bettered the lives of all those whom we touched. In the same way that today we celebrate the life that you lived, our mother, not perfect, but all the same magnificent. All the good things that we, your children and grandchildren, are or ever will be, you made possible. And though you are no longer with us, your indomitable spirit will always surround us. Let us celebrate and toast the lives of all caring and dedicated Jamaican wives and mothers living and deceased. We also acknowledge the debt our family owes to the Jamaican and Canadian people in providing me with scholarships, without which I would not have been able to attend the University of the West Indies and the University of Western Ontario. Without those degrees, our success would have been much more difficult to achieve. In addition, I acknowledge the mentorship of one of the great men of Jamaican commerce, Mr. Carlton Alexander. It is the intention of the whole family to continue to support educational institutions such as Cornwall College and the University of the West Indies, as we believe that education is one of the few essential paths to turning around the country. I leave you with the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, which we hope to have distributed to all present and future students of Cornwall College when they reach the age of 14 or older. St. Francis came from a very wealthy family, but gave it all up to live a Spartan life and dedicated his life to helping the poor and those in need of assistance. This version is a variant of St. Francis's original words that was put to song under the title Instrument of Peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is falsehood, let me bring truth. Where there is pain, I'll comfort you. Where there is silence, let me sing praise. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is blindness, let me bring sight. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. And with these words I speak, grant that I may seek not only to be heard, but to also hear, not to be consoled, but to console, not to be seen, but to see, not to be loved, but to love. For when we give love, we receive love. When we forgive love, we will find reprieve. For it is in loving that we find grace. Make me an instrument of peace. Let us all strive in our own way and our own circumstances to be instruments of love, peace, and human progress. Best wishes to everyone. Tonight's Mary Hofant Gladys Myers awardees are, for the Faculty of English, Mr. Lish Sinclair. For the Faculty of General Studies, History, Business, and Spanish, Miss Petrina Fremantle. For the Faculty of Mathematical Sciences, Math and Information Technology, Mr. Ashley Rowe. For the Faculty of Science, Mrs. Nadine Ellis Hall. For the Faculty of Social Sciences, Geography and Social Studies, Mr. Navarone Morgan. For the Faculty of Technical Subjects, which includes Industrial Arts, Visual and Performing Arts, and Physical Education, Mr. Jamie Hutchinson. That concludes the Teacher of the Year Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward eagerly to next year's awards. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aaird. Can we get another round of applause for the people?